was reportedly.
Sincerest apologies to Mr. Cooper and to Madam Chair. I'm not sure if it's on my end, but I'm just hearing a lot of feedback. I don't know what it is.
Thank you. Can I just ask other colleagues who are on screen, are you hearing feedback as well?
I'm going to unplug my thing and plug it back in to see if it's me.
Or Mr. Broussard, are you hearing feedback when Mr. Cooper speaks?
I'm not hearing feedback. I'm hearing feedback when Ms. Khalid is speaking.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pause. Pause. One second. Mr. Cooper, I think very clearly we suspended the meeting. We're returning to the meeting.
Madam Chair.
As the chair, Mr. Cooper, the chair,
no,
I am acknowledging Mr. Julian, and then you can have the floor.
Point of order.
Point of order, yes, Mr. Berthold.
Madame la Présidente, juste avant que vous ayez suspendu le meeting, une suspension ne veut pas dire qu'on reprend à zéro, juste avant que vous aviez suspendu.
Well, you suspended, but before doing that, you recognized Mr. Cooper, you gave him the floor, and then there were 2 points of order that you recognized. And Mr. Cooper still had the floor when you suspended the meeting. So I believe firmly that according to the established customs and rules, you should recognize Mr. Cooper.
Thank you for that, Mr. Berthold. I have confirmed that when we return to the meeting, it is a matter of who gets the chair's attention. Before I even said anything, Mr. Julian had his hand up. I see it on the screen in front of me as I see people. And so therefore,
Point of order.
Mr. Cooper, point of order.
I proposed a path forward rather than blowing up 6 hours of work from yesterday. There were 2 points of order. You said that we would suspend and then we would deal with finding a pathway forward. And that's what I seek to do, because I wasn't even able to present my sub-amendment before I was cut off yesterday, and the meeting was shut down. And I think that if we're going to deal with the motions before us, and I am eager to get to Mr. Julian's motion, but I think it's appropriate that we deal with the motion that had been put on notice before and that had resulted in Mr. Julian shutting down debate yesterday. We all agree, or at least the NDP, the Bloc, and Conservatives agree, that it is important that Katie Telford appear before this committee to answer.
Point of order. This is not a point of order.
To answer questions about what she knows about Beijing's interference. I had put forward a very minor sub-amendment to Mr. Julian's amendment that would simply establish a panel comprised of all chiefs of staff and national campaign chairs for the 2019 and 2021 election of all of the parties. The only person who would not be included in that panel was Katie Telford, which I had explained the reasons why she needs to appear before this committee alone. And the second part of my motion was simply to
Mr.
provide
Cooper,
for,
as you know, on a point of order, when you say point of order, I need to know the point of order. I would have to agree, I have another point of order now, that this is not a point of order. I know you're going to say no, but that's not how this works. So on your point of order, thank you for your comments. Mr. Gerritsen, point of order.
Just first, Madam Chair, the screen keeps flickering in and out. If there's any way to fix that. Yes, Madam Chair, I would concur that a point of order is to address a point of order in terms of the manner in which the meeting has been conducted, not to enter into a debate about something one wishes they had the opportunity to speak to. In terms of a point of order, last night there was a motion that was on the table, there was a motion to adjourn, and then this committee adjourned. Whenever the committee restarts after that, that motion that had previously been debated is not subject to be initiated again. The mover of the motion has to, at their discretion and when they decide to, move the motion again. Mr. Cooper clearly heard Mr. Julian say earlier on that he was going to move a motion. And so rather than the normal customary practice of allowing the witnesses to leave before getting into committee business, Mr. Cooper tried to seize on an opportunity to circumvent the fact that he knew Mr. Julian was going to do that. So in terms of point of order, there is no motion that's currently on the floor right now because we adjourned last night, and now we're at a starting point again. And I think it's incumbent upon you to respect the rules and to allow Mr. Julian to go first.
Okay, I'm just going to say that members, saying point of order, yes, it gives you the floor, but like you can't just say point of order for the sake of saying point of order, and that's what's happening right now. Mr. Cooper, I'm going to try this once more time, and then I am going to proceed with running a meeting. What is your point of order?
Madam Chair, what I'm trying to do is to be reasonable here, which is to provide a path forward for this committee to I would hope, deal with my amendment quickly, Mr. Julian's, his amendment to my motion quickly, to vote on the motion, and then turn to Mr. Julian's motion. The points pro and con have largely been made. I've attempted to explain the rationale for my sub-amendment, but Mr. Julian and has tried and others to shut me down in that regard. And I don't know why this is so difficult. It shouldn't be difficult.
I agree with you. Why is this being difficult?
Well, because Mr. Julian took it upon himself to shut down debate midway through my attempt to present.
Point of order, Madam Chair. I'd like the member opposite to tell us what standing order he is referencing in terms of his point of order, because all we're doing right now is giving him the floor for debate.
I'm actually going to take back
Point of order?
my role. Mr. Berthold, yes, what's your point? Refer to your point of order.
Okay,
I'm
my
honestly
point-
I think by doing this, we're clearly demonstrating what the intentions are. And I think that might be unfortunate because we say this is something that's really important and that all parties want to work with. And now I'm seeing perhaps true intentions coming out. But what is your point of order, Mr. Berthold?
I'm glad to learn what you're thinking, what our intentions are. Yeah, but I look forward to see it and to hear it, Madame Speaker. Madame la Présidente.
For purposes of everyone knowing what's happening, my speaking list currently has Mr. Cooper, suivi par Mr. Berthold,
Followed by Mr. Berthold,
Mr. Fergus, et puis Madame Romanado.
and then Ms. Romanado.
Cooper.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I will be moving an amendment to Mr. Julian's motion, and I'll read that into the record, and we will distribute a copy of the motion.
Why don't we just get it distributed and I'll
Okay.
give you back the floor? Is
Fair
that
enough.
okay? And while just for me to maintain order and I guess sanity, can I proceed with the meeting as I usually would, where the list I have I will offer you and then return to when we come back to the main amendment? Or would you like me to start a new list for the sub-amendment? Can I maintain the way I usually run the meeting so that we can just give everybody a turn like who wants one? Can I see some nodding of heads? The way I read it yesterday is okay? Perfect. Mr. Cooper, you will have the floor. Perfect. Okay. We'll be starting in a couple seconds.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will read my amendment into the record. A, in the first paragraph, by replacing all the words after the words foreign interference with the following: by Beijing in the 2019 and 2021 federal elections. B, in the second paragraph, by replacing all the words after the words the government with the following: and from all political parties. C, by adding the following after the second paragraph: that the inquiry investigates abuse of diaspora groups by hostile foreign governments. And D, by adding the following after the last paragraph: that the individual heading this inquiry be selected by a unanimous agreement by the House leaders of the officially recognized parties in the House of Commons, and that this inquiry does not impede or stop the committee's study on foreign election interference, including the production of documents and calling of witnesses. And now, Madam Chair, I will speak to my motion. This is...
Madam Chair, point of order, is this admissible? This is completely changing the original original motion. It's been completely rewritten.
If you can just provide me a moment to consult with the clerk, that would be great. Mrs. Romanado, so the clerk and I have spoken, and it does narrow the scope of the intention of Mr. Julian, and so then the clerk does feel, and thereby I will feel, that it is within order, and the committee members will get to choose if we want to narrow the scope or broaden the scope. So with that, I'm going to proceed by returning the floor to Mr. Cooper.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The amendment that I have put forward is fair, reasonable, and measured. It reflects the position taken by the leader of the official opposition, who is in support and spoke yesterday about the need for a national inquiry. And so, with respect to the overriding purpose of Mr. Julian's motion, we support it and we welcome it. But at the same time, we would submit that while there are other instances of foreign interference and other bad actors, that Beijing, pardon, I see that there is no camera. I'm being told it's not.
Oh, that's me. It sees me, and it should see...
Can we please, someone please get the camera on Mr. Cooper?
Well, no, this camera should always be on the person who's speaking, and the camera definitely should not be on me when I'm not speaking. So can we just see, Mr. Cooper, do you want to speak again? Let's see if the camera comes to you.
Okay, now it's on me. Okay. Madam Chair, as I was saying, there's no question that there are other foreign state bad actors, including Russia, which Mr. Julian has cited, and we need to take those threats seriously. But at the same time, the biggest threat posed to Canada by any state is that of the Beijing communist regime, and that has been made clear by our security and intelligence agencies. It's what we heard this morning from CSIS. Moreover, there have been alarming reports of a sophisticated and vast campaign of interference in our elections in 2019 and 2021 based upon a review of CSIS documents by reputable journalists. And although that interference in no way impacted the overall result of either the 2019 or 2021 elections, they did have or may have had an impact in certain ridings. If even one riding is impacted, that is something that should be of grave concern for all Canadians who care about protecting our democracy and our democratic institutions. It should be Canadians and Canadians alone who decide elections, overall election outcomes in ridings, not hostile foreign state actors. And so in the face of that, what I believe is appropriate to get to the bottom of this interference by way of an inquiry is an inquiry that is targeted and focused, that can produce a report in the near future, I would hope before the next election, which could happen at any time. What would not be desirable is to have a inquiry that was expansive, that did not provide a report, perhaps for a year or 2 years down the road. We need answers, and we need answers now. And that is why a targeted, narrow inquiry makes sense and deals with these very specific allegations and revelations that have been brought forward. The other aspect of this amendment is to ensure that Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, doesn't get to decide unilaterally who is the commissioner. We already...
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Yes?
I'm so sorry, but I'm hearing a lot of feedback. I'm not sure if there's another mic that's on in the room.
So you mean when Mr. Cooper is speaking, you're hearing feedback?
Yes, I am.
So do you hear feedback when I speak?
No, I'm not hearing it right now. So maybe if Mr. Cooper can try again. I don't know. I think there was some kind of technical glitch. I'm not sure if it's on my end or on in the room.
Well, we would want to make sure that every member is heard. So I'm going to return the floor to Mr. Cooper. And should it happen again, do exactly what you've just done. Mr. Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And as I was saying, and I hope that I'm coming through more clearly now, that we don't think it's appropriate that Mr. Trudeau, the Prime Minister, should be able to unilaterally decide who heads this inquiry. After all, the Prime Minister is implicated to the degree that his office was reportedly...
Sincerest apologies to Mr. Cooper and to Madam Chair. I'm not sure if it's on my end, but I'm just hearing a lot of feedback. I don't know what it is.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We don't believe that it's appropriate that Mr. Trudeau, the Prime Minister, should decide unilaterally who heads this inquiry. The Prime Minister has a conflict. He has a conflict to the degree that there are serious allegations that have been made that from a global news report of last week, that the Prime Minister's senior aides, several of the senior aides, were briefed by CSIS in 2019 that a Liberal candidate and now sitting MP had the assistant of Beijing's Toronto consulate in his nomination campaign, and that they turned a blind eye. They did nothing about that in the face of those warnings from CSIS. We have also seen no answer from the Prime Minister on the veracity of those reports. He has refused to answer basic questions, including whether he had been briefed. Needless to say, the Prime Minister's office is involved in matters that go to the heart of what this inquiry is about, and what the heart of the matter is about what the Prime Minister knew when he knew it, and what he did or did not do about Beijing's interference in our elections. And this, in order for there to be confidence in such an inquiry, it needs to be not only an impartial and fair process, it needs to be seen as such. And this amendment to Mr. Julian's motion would do just that. It would provide an opportunity for all of the House leaders of all of the recognized parties to reach agreement unanimously as to the individual who should head the inquiry. And while this inquiry is important, it is also important to recognize that much of the work of the commissioner and the panel members may be in a venue that is not open, that is not before the public, having regard for classified documents and other information that that might be subject of the review of the inquiry. And given the very serious allegations that have been made, given the almost daily reports of some new aspect, some new issue, some new scandal involving election interference by Beijing in the 2019 and 2021 elections, it's not simply enough to say, well, let the inquiry do its work behind closed doors, and then at the end of it issue a heavily redacted report. That, again, we welcome an inquiry, but we don't welcome it as a substitute, as a replacement for the work that this committee is doing to undertake a study of election foreign interference, and the work that we have been tasked to undertake specifically with respect to interference in the 2019 and 2021 elections by Beijing. The advice of CSIS in respect of the manner in which foreign interference be responded to is based upon sunlight and transparency, that the public should be made known of interference. And this committee provides a forum for there to be sunshine and transparency now, to get answers now. We might not be able to get all the answers. That's why I support the objective of Mr. Julian's motion, which is to establish an inquiry. But it would not be, I believe, in the interests of getting to the truth and getting to the bottom of this to simply shut the work of this committee down. We need to continue to do our work. We need to continue to hear from witnesses, and we need to continue to insist on the production of documents. And there are a lot of witnesses that we need to hear from, including Katie Telford, the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, who is someone who, as the Prime Minister said, when you're talking to Katie Telford, it's like talking to me. She is someone who is a key witness to getting to the bottom of the central issue at hand, which is what the Prime Minister knew, when he knew it, what he did about it or didn't do about it in respect to Beijing's interference in our election. So given that, this would strike, I think, the right balance with the openness and transparency of this committee to be able to move forward, today, next week, and in the weeks to come, as we learn more about this very serious interference, which the Prime Minister up until now has been anything but transparent about, as he seeks to deflect and block and cover up his inaction based on everything that has been made available up until now. So I will probably have other comments to make, but I will leave it at that for now. And I would I'm hopeful that this this amendment will be well received and will be adopted.
Oh, yeah.